think.
The time.
I give it like a 9. This one looks so nice. Just go with this there.
It's like 8:30.
No.
I was getting me this.
I knew we talked this morning. Oh, good.
Hey, Rob, it must be.
I'm sorry?
It's never bothered me.
Yeah.
You ready? Morning, everyone. We'll call to order the April 29th meeting, of the Madison County Board of Commissioners. If I could talk. My name is Chris Walsh. If everybody would please introduce themselves.
Tony Sneakers.
Brendan Shea.
Rob Sloan.
David Bell.
Nick Atkins, prosecutor.
Chuck Sweeney, your sheriff.
Rhonda Maynard, assistant clerk.
Kevin Reed with the engineer's office.
Amy Reese, clerk.
Right, everybody should have received a copy of last week's meeting minutes.
Move to approve.
I will second with the minor amendment suggestion. And that is, let me get to it. Under the section for open session with Ms. Shaw, where it says that she, at the auditor's request, so it says she stated that at the auditor's request, she had a survey completed. I just would move that to recommendation. I don't know that
It wasn't, yeah.
it was a request by the auditor so much as a recommendation.
Okay.
Move to approve the minutes with that correction.
Second.
First and a second, any other discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Shea.
Yes.
Dr. Sneakus.
Yes.
Mr. Wallace.
Sir, if you would, please, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good day today. I don't really have a lot for you this morning. Just want to bring to your attention that, the 2025 fleet cars did finally arrive, earlier than I expected this year. And, I bought them equipped, so I don't have to wait another 12 months hoping that equipment comes in. I had that exchange with statewide Ford, I feel was very beneficial. And, I liked how this ran, so hopefully we'll get those cars marked. Get some of the ones with a lot of miles off the road and pull them out of rotation. The only matter I kind of wanted to talk to you about this morning is I noticed, and I guess I kind of failed to pay attention to our lot, the EMA lot. That asphalt is really starting to get deteriorate, starting to get affected. So I just wanted to bring it to your attention this morning. I tried to send some more pictures, but my phone was fighting me this morning. So I just, maybe talk with our engineer, see maybe there's something maybe he could sell. I know we did a while back, we tar and shipped or fog sealed the annex, the sheriff's annex on off the Garfield entrance, but I think this one might have been asphalted. So this is asphalt deteriorating, so I'll get with them. Just wanted to bring your attention if you had any input or ideas.
So we did an asphalt or all the parking lot assessment. And that was one of the higher priority lots at the time, along with the Jones building.
Okay.
And we have prices on those. I don't know if they're necessarily accurate today. They're probably higher, but at the time, the commissioners decided to kind of wait a little bit, but on those repairs. So maybe this one moves even higher up on the priority list, and we try to get that done this summer.
Well,
Of course, it's not something that we budgeted for, but
as you can see in the picture, that's the state of the lot, and the asphalt is going to start. Versus patch or repair. I mean, it's going to keep traveling. So I wanted to bring it to your attention this morning, so you're aware of the condition of that asphalt.
So we did have a company come in, and the county engineer looked at all those lots to try to come up with a plan. So we do have that list.
Better all get a bag, a pothole filler, and a stamper.
Yeah.
That's what I do. It's just, yeah, it's gonna need some attention, so.
Well, maybe we can patch the holes and then budget for that for 2026.
I'll let you guys look at that as well. Like I said, that's just one area of the lot that's
Yeah,
starting to travel to the
yeah.
majority of it, so. Other than that, bringing that to your attention this morning, concerns I have, I don't have any out of the business for you, unless you gentlemen have anything.
I don't believe so. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Mr. Atkins,
Morning.
morning.
I wanted to let you know that there was recently a fire inspection at the prosecutor's office. The inspection came back with a small recommendation regarding how some of the electronics were plugged in. They essentially just recommended updated surge protectors, which we've purchased, and if they've returned, completed the inspection, and obviously the office passed this. That's done. The only other thing I wanted to mention, and this is just in light of the news from last week, just reminding you that you have the open retaining with carpenter lips and probably no longer necessary to keep that.
I notified her yesterday.
So I had
Very good. Thank you, sir. Okay.
No, the only thing I'll mention is, last week, there was an announcement, I think it came. It wasn't premature, I think it was expected to come out in the Business Journal, but it's no harm, no foul. But, there was an announcement about a company called, Sentinel. They're looking to do a data center in West Jeff. Has to do, is tied to the annexation that's going through right now with West Jefferson. Probably 3 buildings, over 15 years. Obviously, it's gonna come as power comes. About 50 people per building. Mostly, actually, it's not gonna be taxing on their water and sewer. A lot of it's actually tied to electrical for their cooling. So that company, it's been around for about 9 months or so. They were looking around London as well. Where it's a property pretty seriously. Talks fell through, no, nothing bad, it just happened, and then they focused on the West Jeff area, so, I know Microsoft and others have pulled out, but other groups are still trying to invest in this region, so. That's the only thing I'm, and that's why I brought up to you guys, because it was not there yet, they had gone through the Port Authority, presented to Port Authority, but they had to go to the West Jeff for rezoning and annexation and all that, so papers caught up to it and put it out there, so. Other than that, that's the only kind of update at this point in time. I did put together, Commissioner Zaniga reached out to Rob, with an ad for zoning, just a flow chart for the process for BZA, for zoning appeals, as well as the rezoning process put out on the website, so, in very, very basic terms, right, I don't want to get into the weeds of everything, but that'll be available on the website, and or you all, if anybody has any questions, you can simply pass that information along. So put it together yesterday, took some time. I think by the end of the week, we'll be able to peek it, and make sure it's available on the site.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, just a question. When in the process does it typically become public what the annexation is for? You said it was kind of leaked to the,
It wasn't leaked, it basically, it all depends on, every, and every project's, every project's different. Some projects go through the whole process of local approvals with project name. Projects never announced, others aren't so, kind of, wary of getting the public knowing what's going on. Typically, when things are submitted for the rezoning process at the local level, that's when the company or end user understands that it could get out there. Now, well-trained, knowledgeable, I'll say well-trained community knows that, hey, look, it's better play safe than sorry, because there are instances where words get, information gets out and projects die. But typically with the rezoning, and it has to go through that process, if it's not a project name, then that's typically when it's understood that, hey, this could get out there.
so I wasn't privy to this one at the village level, so what does it look like at their level? they're just considering an annexation, it's not named, it's just,
There's no legal requirement.
Yeah.
okay, and there's no here, because this is a type 2. So like the previous one we did in Plain City, so this is just a statutory thing, there's no hearing at the village level either.
Well, they have the 60, I mean, after it gets done, everything's taken care of at this level, then they have a 60-day window to do at their local level of process for annexation. So that's when I think there's more time for, I don't know about public input, but just the public to be more aware and learn more about it. Yeah.
Are you saying before or after our action?
After. This is-
After our
yeah,
action?
Yeah.
So this doesn't complete the action?
This is not, there's just about a 60-day window. They have local necessities they need to take care of for that to be executed completely.
Thanks for explaining.
A lot of times with annexation, they will do annexation and rezoning at the same time. Just to kind of speed up that process. Not all the time, oftentimes.
Sometimes too.
Then I was circling back to zoning, we're looking at all of the processes and seeing what can be streamlined, be more efficient, and a little less cumbersome. So should have some suggestions to you guys here.
Early mid-May, I think,
Yeah,
is the plan. Dennis will come up and give a quick presentation about some of the things currently and some suggestions that we think will help still keep the integrity of the process, but speed things up a little bit. Shedding a couple months off the process.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Worked out.
yeah, I don't have too much for you guys today. I did want to bring up the America 250 High Commission grant. Unfortunately, we were rejected for those dollars. So and we had a kind of a plan in place, and I guess my question is, do you want to still pursue those activities, the monument, that sort of thing, without that funding from the state? Amy, what was our budget for that? Do you remember?
A lot of, the monument was 5, I'd have to go back and look, but a lot of the stuff that was kind of planned quickly was volunteer based and donations, but I mean, obviously a lot of effort.
So,
You said 5,000?
I'd have to look.
I don't think that was just the monument.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the total budget?
The total budget you could have asked for was 10. I thought.
Grant was 5.
Was it?
the grant was 5, yeah.
So the monument took up most of that.
Yeah, and like the hot dogs and
Yeah.
all that stuff was kind of on a volunteer
Hopefully, you
donation
know, you hope that people donate all that stuff.
type thing, so. If you want to, still pursue that, yes or no, and establish a budget for that. Or not.
Be interested in looking at some commemoration. It would be for next year's budget anyway, right? It wouldn't be for this.
Is, actually, you're right, yeah,
Yeah.
It's not ultra pressing, right? I mean,
right.
We could talk to the city, see if they're planning anything.
Mhm.
We have to make any definitive decisions right now.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't recall how long we had to put the order in for the monument.
I don't think I asked, but I think I can get that information.
Okay.
When we talk about monument, we're talking about like something about the size of a headstone.
Yeah, actually, it was through. Yeah. Can't remember the name. Yeah, yeah, so, yeah, which, segues into, my next comment, which is, good and bad, depending on how you look at it. Going through some of the grant process applications, we're actually, I get the feeling, it's not definitive yet, that we're actually being rejected for grants based on the amount of money that the county has. So applaud your stewardship of, taxpayer dollars and your fiscal conservancy, which is great. At the same time, like the, special, technology grant for the clerk of courts, I feel we're gonna be rejected for that based on the amount of money that we have in those, two lines for common police court, so. Good and bad. Next thing I have for you is the, procurement policy final draft. We took Nick's recommendations from last week, corrected some typos. I think we have, the final draft now for recommendation for approval by the county commissioners.
It moved if we want to do that now, or if we want to do.
Yeah, so we could do it all, in the resolutions, or you want to do it now, whatever you
Yeah, we can
feel
do
is
it.
appropriate.
Yeah, we can do it later.
I just, brought it up to see if there was any questions or concerns or anything.
Questions, comments? No? Okay, yeah, we'll handle that later.
Check my notes here real quick. I do have a meeting with Bernie Moreno's staff today at 2:30. I believe it's going to be concerning the sheriff's, building, because we did, submit a request for dollars for that, so that's at 2:30 today. If anybody's around, feel free to join us. If not, I'll let you know what we discussed on Tuesday.
Very good.
And that's all I have, unless you have anything for me.
I do not. Very good. Coffee break time.
Amy and I were on Friday, so we did story about, there were, remember the story, there was,
Well, they ain't told what it is, right?
For instance,
You put it right in front of the right person, then. They call me sweet.
I hope you like your flavors.
I like anything with sugar.
I'll have one. So it had to do with London, so where a project was talked about publicly, way. Community stolen, so basically, back into the east area, here was looking at London. Yeah. As for their facilities, and they were discussing the project openly almost every council meeting. Right. Well, City of Obetz, the manager at the time there, would see it and knew this was happening, so. I mean, he took initiative and reached out to Goodyear and said, we can do a better deal for you guys. And last minute, Goodyear went down to Obetz instead of coming to London.
Yeah,
So that's why and I know you understand.
I completely understand. Yeah,
No.
I received a call from a constituent yesterday and I put two and two together. That it's for this annexation, but prior to that call, I didn't know what was.
Well,
A lot of times we're under NDAs, keep shares.
that one we were not, but at the same time, they had presented the Port Authority, we knew about it, but that article came out a little. I sent it to Ray, and he had no idea that article was coming out of here, so sometimes the press just picks up on that, and the company didn't comment, so they weren't expecting it either. Yeah. Try to be as transparent as possible sometimes.
Those are tricky, I understand.
But that box is full of salads.
Nice of them, like. I'll go, I'll do the.
That's not him. Oh, my kryptonite.
I'm gonna get a knife, I'll go get a knife. Feel better about ourselves.
Right, David?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only had about everything.
Well, it makes, makes you feel a little better.
I got it, but not perfect, somebody else.
Half on the plate for me.
So we jumped right in, had personnel on my daughters, we're talking even 4-H.
What's that?
You know how my daughters were talking to me about 4-H, and you said, well, there's other projects you can do, so we just did. Things have been never just gonna do that. Yeah, and the land. All of it. I thought kids are, we almost back down. Is it later now? spoke with her, she's the other.
She makes it for.
Yeah. You don't do that. You don't do that. But it could, I gotta come to you.
I got it on the back, but, I don't, we would be better off. But if it goes to the help. And then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get some money?
Your age.
You're
Jumping.
So chief expert.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Show free.
Have to have
Land food. What's your
Land for it, yes, thank you. Yeah, that was my mother, it was lamb, and little pig, that was actually my mom. No.
Even well.
How's that?
I blame you for because I was late. I'm with that.
We had trees.
We're gonna do, just go, have your special hours from the box, because that's in, that the girls and one.
So that many.
Just two. Yeah, just two that are older.
Yeah.
I know, that's. The committee realized about this, just because I'm. So we don't want any- the times where they're- you have to get to the- we do that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't just.
Oh, sir, no purpose.
We'll help each other anyway.
But what I'm saying is they both should start.
They both show.
One each. That's what I'm talking about.
Probably
The two lands.
That's good to know. It's probably too late because
No, I think it's May 1st that you have to declare what you're going to do.
May first you have to have it in. But they told us, they said it's very strict that you,
What proofs are you?
it's called.
What letter do you have?
Elizabeth.
Yeah, I don't, but it's not or
That was our sign. Although someone told us the other day, they said, yeah, good luck. That's what you're doing.
It's Sean.
Exactly. It wouldn't like that.
Well, enjoy.
He's optimist.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my.
So like started with maybe one bar.
Really?
Yeah.
I will grab one of those and I will save it for later. Don't eat breakfast. I want them to know, I appreciate you doing it.
But I was fine before, I was probably fine.
You're not on the back, you're the game was.
It's 16 hours. Between 5:30 and 9:40. Okay.
Coming up the back.
So that's.
Back, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I have 1,000 times.
Five, somebody found your house, if there's that one.
That's a.
Yeah, I usually do 16. Like during Lent, I didn't eat at all on Friday. It ended up being like a 32 to 36 hour fast every Friday. Wednesday, I didn't eat. In
Okay, you can cut it.
lunch, but that was I mean, once you get in the rhythm.
Well, here, Myron, you can have my plate.
That's right.
Let's say that.
We're gonna go to lunch.
Certainly going to.
Where should I put the knife?
Don't forget the topic.
Just available.
Let's set up this, but I forgot what it was.
Rhonda, I wanted to let you know, I got your email when I was about the county. So thank you for that. That would be for next year, right? It was April.
Yeah, something like that. It's not the article, and I think.
I'm gonna. I think of if you have any candidates, then you can sort of get the whole next year, bring it up and. Yeah, I don't know how long this is like a, month commemorating, it's like county, what is it, county?
Yeah, county.
National county.
So this is not one.
Yes, there were some ideas for bringing what the county does into those stuff.
I looked at the invitation, it didn't say anything about celebrating. Yeah. All right, Amy, if you would, please continue.
Two from last week that were tabled, a resolution approving the expedited type 2 petition for annexation to the village of West Jefferson of 81.769 acres from Deer Creek Township.
So move.
Second,
First and a second, any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
yes.
Dr. Sneakers?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution amending the Madison County procurement policy.
So moved.
Second. First and a second, any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Sneakers? Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution approving the payment of invoices for the Madison County auditor.
So moved.
Second,
First and a second, any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
yes.
Dr. Sneakers?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yeah.
A resolution approving the final wage compliance report for the London Playground project funded through the 2022 Madison County Community Development Block Grant Program.
So moved.
Second,
Move a first and a second, any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
yes.
Dr. Sneakers? Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution approving the notice of award to J&J Schlegel Inc. for the Madison County Plain City 88 project under the 2024 Community Development Block Grant Program.
So moved.
Second. Move a first and a second, any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
Yes.
Dr. Sneakers? Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution authorizing participation in the ODOT road salt contract awarded in 2025.
So moved.
Second,
Move first and a second, any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
yes.
Dr. Sneakers?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution approving a travel request for the 2025 Ohio bailiffs and court officials spring conference.
So moved.
Second. Move a first and a second, any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
yes.
Dr. Sneakers?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution approving appropriation to the CASA Training Fund for Madison County Probate and Juvenile Court.
Second,
Move a first and a second, any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
yes.
Dr. Sneakers?
Yep.
Mr.
Yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution approving amendment number 4 to the fiscal year 25 juvenile court subsidy grant agreement for the realignment of funds.
So moved.
Second. Move a first and a second, any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
yes.
Dr. Sneakers? Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution approving the juvenile court grant agreement and funding appropriation for fiscal years 2026 through 2027 with the Ohio Department of Youth Services.
Funding application, right? Funding application, right? Second,
What did I say?
appropriation.
Funding application, you're correct, that's what it says.
We have the first and the second, any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
yes.
Dr. Sneakers? Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution approving the 6-month budget for the felony delinquency care and custody grant for Madison County Juvenile Court.
Second,
We have the first and the second, any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
yes.
Dr. Sneakers?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
A resolution approving the IVD contract between Madison County Child Support Enforcement Agency and Doug Brad for services effective March 1st, 2025 through February 28th, 2026.
So moved.
Second. The first and second, any other discussion? None heard. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shea?
yes.
Dr. Sneakers?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
And lastly, a resolution approving the IVD contract between the Madison County Child Support Enforcement Agency and the Madison County Prosecutor's Office for services effective April 1st, 2025 through March 31st, 2026.
So moved.
Second,
First and a second, any other discussion? None heard, roll call please.
Mr. Shea?
yes.
Dr. Sneakers?
Yes.
Mr. Wallace?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There's several for all commissioners to sign, so take note of that.
Strong, quite strong, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah.
Thanks for the donuts. What are we celebrating anyway?
No, buy them,
No, thank God. That's wonderful. And you know, you guys, I think you guys did a great, we've been telling you, you guys really have done a great job. I mean, just, you know, staying on top of things, you know, I wish we could have done more, but we did what we could. And I'm glad it's over. But I'm still concerned a little bit though. I mean, because, you know, what's gonna stop them 6 months from now? A different company or somebody else trying to do something not necessarily there, but a same situation, you know? I wish the legislators would have actually done something. So I think that's where you're gonna push on it and push on it.
We thought the same thing.
Yeah.
In that, and, with the wordage of the letter, the way that it was.
Yes.
It basically withdrew that site.
Yeah, and I called, I remember we had a little, I called them afterwards and like, man, this is great news, but what's the guarantee?
I think that the only thing that we have to go on is the fact that we, as a county, made a big awareness.
Oh, yeah,
We took down
you did.
a big component, a big competitor of the market. I feel that, you know, potentially the upper, people that we got involved feel strongly about the cause of what we did. And I'm hoping that reflects out to
Yeah.
other things.
But you know, we all have short memories. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you know, if there's something in the books, I think it's a lot better. So,
Yeah.
you know, there is.
House Bill 112 is still out there. It's still in committee, and that's Representative Stewart's bill that dealt with codification of gas line connections and, you know, elimination of public utility status unless you have that. So I think that would be a good thing to still pursue. I already mentioned that to Representative Stewart. He's definitely amenable to that. He's for that bill. It's his bill. So that's just one thing. I mean, there's other concepts and ideas out there that could very easily be pursued. Companies like Vanguard don't amend their ways.
So, you know, we wanted to obviously do more. Everybody else, I think maybe that's a lot of people's goal, opportunity, but you know, it's up to knock it off, knock it down as you can, and then just be there to help and support. We learned a lot, and we can share a lot with other people and are continuing to do that about, you know, the traction that we have.
To your knowledge, did anybody give an easement?
You know,
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, there was a reason why they were planning last week, I guess. You know, we don't even know if the landowner still has a contract.
that's something that we probably won't be able to be privy to because it'll be.
I tried to snoop, but it didn't work on me.
My guess is it was contingent.
I think Stephen, are more familiar with the contract, but I believe that they were the only ones that could pull out anything with no penalty. Sure. Is that correct?
Yeah, we never saw that. I think we saw that side of the contract, but G, we had a side conversation, he confirmed that.
Yeah.
Well, all right, yeah, guys, thank you, everyone, all of you and all the community. It's remarkable how it got to that point. It would be hard to trace it. It's like, you have so many people doing so many things that got this stuff. And you know, with your opinion, you guys with your resolutions for running, chasing things down, people on the Facebook side, people with signs on the yard. I think the February 20th meeting was critical. We had 200 people there
And then we had Michelle and Brian. Michelle saw it. She saw how powered up things were. She made a connection and just all these things went hand in hand, all these people working together. And just led to that, and a lot of people praying too for that, to be stopped and that. We're just thankful for that. I think, I understand what's mixed. We talked to Brett, you would think when I first heard about me jumping in the air, putting my heels together and crying and happy with that. It was similar. We were thrilled it was gone, but we're also worried. Other communities, West Alabama, one, that was like us, we don't know what's happening there. We don't really know.
Well, did they have one in Union too?
They haven't used, but it's on a dairy farm. It seems like if you look dairy farms, people don't object.
Yeah, I know.
And if the community doesn't object.
Yeah.
You know, that's their choice, but give us a choice.
Yeah.
And that's the problem is I think we need to keep pushing on state legislation, whatever the answer is. I think it's the public utility side is the problem. I think the agricultural side. I think it's kind of biodiversity exemption, but it's got to be like under 5 megawatts. This thing was going to be 5 near us. So I suspect it's the public utility side, that's the problem. But we'll have to keep seeing what we can do to keep pushing that forward.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody in the right setting is gonna be dead against it. You know, I mean, like we said, a dairy zone. Well, dairy farms stink anyway, hog farms, they stink. So maybe it would help that smell there, but not where they were gonna put it. That was just purely stupid.
Well, another thing that kept showing its face is the fact that this was the first one of its kind.
Yeah.
And that was, I think, kind of alarming to a lot of people, even, you know, Michelle made the comment, show me one that's like this, and they couldn't, so that was.
Agree, yeah. Enjoy the wind.
You too, all of us.
Well, we have. So Brett, I said, why are you here today? He said, he's gonna continue to come.
Yeah. And that's another thing, you know, that's another question that kind of comes up. You know, when I come to these meetings, you know, things, as Brendan said, things are already in the works and in motion and stuff like that. I didn't quite understand that whole conversation, but how is it that the public does get involved and is aware, and how are they able to see it? Because again, coming to these meetings and reading your notes, I can't pick up on everything that you guys are talking about. How do I stay on top of things?
Oh, yeah, it's a challenge, yeah, with no local paper, I mean, it's a big challenge to keep people informed of what we're doing. Because I think a lot of people, you know, when this news first happened, a lot of people thought, well, we weren't aware of it, we weren't doing anything, and I think once we educated people on what we had been doing, that we were aware of it, that we were taking steps, a lot of people were somewhat comforted by the fact that we were already on top of it. But yeah, to your point, nobody quite knew what was happening, nobody had heard of anything, so that void of information makes people concerned, and it's, as I said, it's difficult without a local newspaper to disseminate that information. We try to disseminate information on social media, but only so many people have social media and only so many people see that. So I mean, it's difficult in a county without a local paper to get that out to the public. We try somewhat with our newsletter, and we send out our newsletter that probably talked about the biodigester on more than one occasion. So that's one way we try to engage with people, at least make them aware of some of the, you know, major issues that we're working on. So that way they're up to speed on what's happening. And if they feel the need to engage on that issue, they can, you know, call, email, or come in to talk to us.
The mantra, see something, say something, may apply here. You know, there was a sign on the biodigester at the end of Wilson Road, starting in April. It said, no biodigester. And people had seen that sign and said, yeah, I saw that, but I didn't know what it was. You know, so as we were speaking to people, they said, I never knew what that was. So it's just an example of, you know, sometimes just asking the question, whether it's us, your other elected officials, neighbors. I guess we just need to not assume that people know and.
Well, I think it was no dump cabin.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it wasn't. No bio.
Oh, it's specifically, that's right. It's specifically saying.
And it was at the time that Rob and Scott were under construction, which was kind of misleading because you thought maybe.
Yeah.
They didn't want construction dumped, they didn't want things to be dropped there.
Okay, yeah.
Yes,
You're right.
I saw that sign.
Yeah.
So again, how did they get that information? I don't know, you know, I mean, they knew something. And that was back way before, so that's what I'm trying to figure out.
We found out, fairly quick and we acted as quick as we could. You know, we didn't wait. And I think you guys even thought maybe we weren't doing anything, but there was a meeting and then you guys said that you felt a lot more comfortable leaving here because of what we had already started. And, you know, I think I want to thank Nick. I mean, Nick done the job. He's the one that put a big needle in them, you know, and it helped. So, you know, when people raise up like that elected us, we need to support them as much as we can. I'm glad we gotta let that lawyer go though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, there was a side issue, I was holding back on because we want to get this one done first. This is part joke, but part of slightly serious, but nothing really to do, but, we have a problem on the Summerlin Road beyond the biodigester is in the summer, under the right conditions, which is a lot of the summer humidity. There's a cell phone tower just south of us, which lights up the entire sky. We actually talked to the neighbors and they say they have to shut their blinds to do things because it's so bright and sleeping at night. And I looked at the other cell phone towers near us. Even if they're a white or blue light, not a red, they don't light up the entire sky. This thing lights up the entire sky.
Is it for the planes not to hit it? Is that what it is?
I don't know if it's one for red, but this one is, it used to be a red light, then they changed it to like a white or bright light. So our website's gonna change from Stop Madison County 5 to Stop Madison County Bright Light. Stop Madison County Night Light. I don't know better to be catchy as. I didn't communicate with them.
Who owns it, Verizon or?
No, it was another company. I don't know what their name was, but they said they have FCC requirements and there's basically saying you can't stop them. So we heard that before, so.
Yeah.
I'll continue to research it. I don't even know if it's any, I doubt it's anything that even comes under your purview, but when we were talking to the bioregister people, we happened to mention it, and a lot of people we talked to said that light drive's been crazy.
Oh, but, so they was, about 6-7 years ago, I got a letter from one of the power companies. They wanted to, you know, lease a half an acre or I don't know what it was, how big it was, you know, in front of my house. And it was good money. I mean, you know, $700-800 a month. You know, it wasn't, you know, well, I didn't want that on my property. I didn't, you know. But guess what they did? They moved a quarter mile down the road. Now I could see it coming out my front door. I should have just took the money. But it doesn't shine. It blinks.
Ours is terrible. It has to do with the humidity level, I believe, because like in the winter.
Shorts or something?
in the Summer, it just
Oh, boy.
blows the whole sky. If you look at it, you'll actually hurt your eyes.
Really?
Yeah, it's sure like.
Thanks for the donuts. Did I say that?
Yeah, again.
Did you have one, Brett?
I did not.
You better come and get one. It's a very good one.
How do you think I keep this one?
I didn't know. I was gonna talk to you about that.
So you do have, a follow-up with NBC for today.
Oh, nice.
They're doing a follow-up interview.
Drink of water.
Talking about the lights.
Donuts part shoot.
Company and our, each one should be transferring equipment. Or not getting.
One damage on the inside wire, but I don't know what. Swallow that, have a nice thing. Yeah, that's what I was just asking, you know.
Have the meetings, videos turned on.
Trying to figure out who it is.
When they change that out.
And it's interesting because it was on the spirit.
Yeah, it does. Did you forget to do something?
No, I do that at the beginning of the meeting.
We're not in executive session.
Oh, they're supposed to be laid up on the side, not be lit up.
Talking to them last evening, and he's putting deflectors on it.
Yes.
It's very, direct that lighting.
I think it's supposed to be. Yes.
As like, it'll be. Yeah. We've had to people were. That's why. They're still excited us. The celebrate.
This thing, you will think, the ocean's not meant for down like there.
Nathan,
So we have no government anymore.
yeah,
Well, I do like from our place where you look across into town. With all the storage buildings and everything that's over there, it's a big blow. I mean,
Yeah.
How are you? Morning.
Steve's over the chair of this hearing now, so. I saw my test is.
or that's something else. that we
Yeah.
can There's like gowns that are
Sometimes.
experience with this one.
They're beautiful.
So big, and then they're together, it's surviving research.
Like I said, I think he's right. But.
Don't say that.
I don't do your next one. No, it's-
Yeah, well, I think we're really.
Just here to make sure the organization was. Probably that's it.
Oh, no, I had done it. I was, I had it. I was like, oh, just remind me to remind me that.
That's right. Supposed to be on the agenda or not? Donut? Donut? Come on, good one, yeah. Grab a donut.
This one is.
So.
So.
You were starting to bend in it, and then one day it just. You're just. And make sure I'm reading, and I can't use it, and then some days. It is moving.
And we had both the kids prepared. Like, they were in the business, so they wanted to show me that.
Sure.
He's running them off with the donuts.
It's not, he just.
Gonna give Chuck all of them.
Oh, okay.
So to be searching yourself.
Yes, yeah,
I think that's.
yeah.
The kids would have liked those donuts, Brendan.
Sure.
If there's any left, I can.
Years later.
Now you gotta cut that one and go
Oh, okay.
two different sections.
Still there, so I like, but he'll be,
Yeah.
he's with her, so she would.
And at least they get fashion service.
Yeah, yeah, it's like, better than they used to.
Look.
No, like a pager at first. Your pocket would not look like a pager.
I still have my.
And so there.
Morning, Rachel.
Yeah, actually, I was hoping Brian could answer that. Brendan.
What's it? Oh,
It was more complex than what I thought. So,
well, it was a big issue at the regional planning. There was a lot of discussion about who that road and that service road. Off of 40 as well.
Summertime, we'll see, is that, you know, you got to take it easy on the donuts.
Chris, that salt.
when I talked to Brian, it sounded like one road was supposed to be transferred over and it never was, and the other one's in the process. And it's more complicated, of course, but I can't remember exactly why the one never made it to the township.
Yes.
So I was hoping he was gonna give you a better explanation.
That comes through us, right?
Yeah.
Rachel has another opinion.
Yeah, actually, he said he was gonna give you a call. For explaining it. Better than what I. How many did you eat? You're done with already?
I ate half of them.
Got another half to eat then. That's one serving size, one down.
That's correct.
So they're Dutchman say.
Wow, that must be.
Those are pretty big too, they're almost your Dutchman size, aren't you?
Yeah. Somebody look up the calories and.
Why?
You don't.
I know, I don't want to.
right, you
It means you can't eat for the rest of the day, that's what it
I
means.
know, and it's the dinner tonight at the butcher block too, so. I just have to starve the rest of the week, I guess.
What's on the menu, Tony?
Shish kebab,
That's it?
soup, Greek salad, Grego burgers,
Dessert?
baklava.
No Greek martinis this time.
No.
Yes, very exciting. You know?
And so the little, oh, that's good. Forgot about
What's on the menu this evening?
it. Again,
Did you already tell me? Look about, get you. Sorry. The bottom.
season is my.
What?
I decline, okay. What did you say? Delicious Greek wine,
I hope so, what's up to them?
better, I'm not coming. David, are you coming to Greek wine? Why do you hate Greeks?
I don't think Greeks.
I think he did.
Sound pretty Greek every month, with very much job.
Okay, okay. Doesn't sound like authentic. No.
I'll say something. I
The bad Greek yesterday.
know, like I said, I'm angry and disappointed in me, but I'll say it just for the sake of conversation.
Uh-oh.
Baklava, I can't get it.
You don't like it? Some don't, I'm not a big fan.
Okay, good.
I like it, I would eat it. Yeah, well, there's another one that I like better.
David, you should have just kept your mouth shut.
There's another that I like better, that, one with the custard. I like that one better.
It was not going well for you, David, and then you just kept going.
But you know, it's kind of funny, because every time I bring it, then you sure do choke it down pretty good. Yeah, it's a little weird though, but yeah, I'm just saying, I've noticed.
I will try almost anything. But there's certain things that like, if it's in front of me, I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
pumpkin pie, I could care less.
What is wrong with you? That's, are you American?
No, it's not.
Oh my God.
Well, then I'm kind of with you on the pumpkin pie.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
It is.
Pumpkin pie's your favorite?
Yes.
And listen, and I get it, there's things, there's like, and I'm gonna get roasted for this.
No, here we go. Stop.
It just keeps
I
going.
love it, I don't get Star Wars. I don't care. I'm not.
The Star Wars movies?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched one through the whole thing, I just get it.
We're gonna have to have a discussion.
And I understand. No, I understand and I am, and might not be wrong, but I'm the minority because a lot of people love it.
I do.
I've never watched the Star
We might have to go in executive session and discuss employment matters here soon if we keep it up.
He's still watching to,
I see a part. That's a pun in theater right now. You need-
Well, I'm gonna make a statement about that. I used to like Star Wars
Okay.
until the lead actor went to the dark side.
Hmm.
Darth Vader.
Now,
Darth Vader.
He did go to the Darth Vader.
he went to the left, so anyway, done, let's move on. Is there retention meeting yet?
I think so.
We need to start with-
Do we have we have a quorum?
We do.
We do have a quorum.
Yeah, we have 4 of 5.
4 of 5. Okay, very good. It is now 9:30. This is the time set aside for the Madison County Record Retention Meeting. Does anybody have anything exciting to discuss regarding records
Yeah.
and
I always like to try to give a, update on what I'm seeing in case law or recent requests. And the new trend that we're seeing is, and this would fall under those transient records that I've talked about, including in your RC2, similar to voicemails or text. The new trend is to request the browser search history of county employees. So.
David's nervous? I can see that.
I would recommend that all departments, the next time they update their RC2 to include that within transit records. Just.
You busy auditing today?
Not anything, but about everything else.
Anything else for the good of the order regarding records retention? It was one of our more riveting quarterly meetings. Right, records retention meeting adjourned. Thank you all. Thanks for sitting there. Yeah, you can stand up. Get some steps in, yeah.
Because I gotta respond to what Mr. and tell them move forward with that plan. I'll be.
Chuck, well, I started with them, and I think when they recognized how inexperienced we were, you heard me to actually jump on. And that has a number of kids in the bottles they're burning. Because when he's the one that happened, he asked me, how are you gonna do this? I got all of your background.
Yeah.
Or with the web. That is the best.
It's still always fault.
There's a job.
So how quickly can we move against 55 or in there?
I'll check that. Good job.
I tried.
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah, they were interested. They wanted to know. It wasn't like they didn't force their hand by any means. They just, it's, I mean, you did a good thing. Chairs, they're gonna go on to the, they're gonna go, this one got cheap too. It's just gonna go.
Thank you so much. So much work.
Thank you so much. Brendan, thank you so much. Thanks for letting us know and everything else. It's awesome. Thank you for keeping the place going and so forth.
Did you get hurt celebrating? Did you get hurt celebrating?
Too much jumping.
That's cheerleader.
Another facet of the sports.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you all, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Take care, you might not be coming back.
Yeah. We appreciate all your hard work, thank you.
See you guys in a minute.
We're gonna fire up. Yeah, but there was something firing down. Yeah, part of the thing that I want to do is get some kids, 34 years, to maybe help with some of the shootings.
Did you watch the you? Did you see a copy of that?
Josh looked like it was really good too. Josh looked like it.
No, I just got it yesterday. I thought going through it.
Oh, you got a kid that was there.
I talked to Joe on the phone yesterday, just to-
Oh, not the one that was there.
No, I know Josh.
Oh, Josh.
Financially feasible.
Right, yeah, he does the things. Would you, I don't have
Yeah.
your number.
Yeah.
That's sorry, left that last minute.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, we always.
It was already written for me, so.
I specifically asked me about that, because I probably don't mind doing the general next meeting, so
I also,
we always would have to fix it, yeah, at least the stuff.
he's able to get.
I mean, I was inaccurate, as I said,
Yeah, plus the other thing is when we're just actually putting the fences down.
they didn't,
Greg's pretty
but they
good.
must at least, it's a judge, where it's a radio station, I was going to field trip.
Yeah.
So,
So I contacted him.
that's what I was talking about, Sunday, by Gary.
We got this whole days for us. We got to use it, the benefit of it. So,
No,
and I think that is the benefit. So, right? I did what they said. The national chapter's going to pay me.
So that's good, but no, I'm very. And I'm,
Cause I'm having a big bet on.
Right, I mean, we got youth on it, file, you know, and 15, well, there's stuff that I have to do with my dad. Never found anything like that. Well, I thought I was feeling, not too, that's all right.
So everything takes
Outdoors, yeah, very quick.
2 weeks longer, a month longer, 2 months longer than it's real.
Which the RFQ is, it's well put together, I just want to make sure, no jump stones, what. If you want project management and. Basic service.
I think
It's like, it's a neighbor, it's kind of under one project.
thank you.
yeah, I think they're probably confused, but no, but you did podcast, I could hit, all the people in this project, that's what goes.
It's been like an odd time, we're talking about roads, okay. That is yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, win your game, Nick, is
We did.
once around
We're
Spain.
supposed to play 6 innings.
what, like.
What-
we-
The ninth, tied,
Oh,
the ninth inning,
that sounds good.
bottom of the
There's a
ninth,
point dealer, see what.
bases loaded, you got to
So that.
walk off the end. About the ninth, it was a good night.
Two paid doctor nights.
Who was this? Who was this?
My 6-year-old,
I think it'll be,
coaching an AU team. I'm head coach for T-ball. My 4-year-old is the assistant coach for my
project management, I mean, they're,
Or,
they certifications.
Oh, good.
Project.
Those are good times.
I'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
My boys still talk about.
Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was,
The Saturday when I go out and I coached my last game. Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I took my daughter to T-ball, and I remember,
she's still playing T-ball?
yes, so I remember those kids were so bored. Sitting out there, you know,
yeah.
and they would sit there and they would take dirt and put it in the rocks and rocks. The one kid covered himself in dirt. It was like that, what's his name? Charlie Brown kid. It's covered. It's like, yeah, because, you know, everybody would miss. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah, I coached T-ball and the next league up.
Sure.
My daughter was into it and she took a line drive to the stomach. And she got hit. She was like, okay. And then everybody came running out like, oh my gosh, okay. And then by that time, she started freaking out, crying, we're done. She finished the season, but that was it for like. Like, oh my God, am I okay?
Yeah.
She was okay, then everybody else would.
Right.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
it was great, you know, back then I used to work at least 10 hours a day, and then I'd get off and take her, right? It's like, oh my God.
Then we went into soccer, it's so horrible.
Yeah, we got home about 9 o'clock last night.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Where were you playing? Where?
Four-wheeler.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, those are good.
I don't feel too bad. It's like all of your games are.
They were nice. Yeah, it's 3 hours, 2 hours of staying in there.
Yes.
Yeah. Go, leave.
Oh, yeah.
That's much.
He was.
Yeah. Actually, that's where it's right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
The first.
Like the way you try to tenders, rub it off.
No, I don't think so.
And now they all, that's a good variety.
Pretty low.
Don't leave.
It to my.
What'd you say? Don't leave. Which one you want?
And he got.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you can testify to that.
He's all stereotyped.
Well, either way. Yeah, so I just got a phone call from Savannah. I'm officially a Said graduating. He graduated. He's got this summer, and then he graduates. Graduating now. Yeah, because was the first or second? So it's gonna go Friday. That's all.
No,
Second, because Caleb's girlfriend, she graduates Friday. But she's in college of nursing.
You probably be thoughtful, right?
yeah.
If you're going. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask you something.
If you're hopefully I got enough time to go to the.
I tried all different kinds of.
Juggling just, I don't bring. Like it is crazy, yeah.
Between different.
Go, you're doing. Yeah.
It's amazing how.
You know.
You raise that mustard, because I like to do.
No, man.
What I'll do, some things is all mustard rub. And then I'll. I
So,
put them in.
What's your favorite weird?
I'll put them in.
Not at all.
And then, at the flip, I would take them, drain all the juices off, and then I'll cook them with the sun. Is it nice? Yeah, yeah.
I haven't eaten wings for a while. So I drive blind there and started. Chicken, I drive blind. The turkey, I definitely drive blind. Just really.
Did you really?
So, it essentially says that.
Place here.
Yeah.
Tell me, it's prices for it. That's right. Why start our slow.
Leave the restaurant.
They basically have that. It's just part of it. I think the experience to be some of the.
Figuring out what it was.
So it might be a month. We don't
You know,
know.
what do you like?
Is it for
Okay.
any catch?
Yeah, so you want to remember, that just for adults, you know, you plan spaces, right, we plan all that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
If I smoke your ass, like you can buy a gas.
Yeah, you could be there, so
Okay, so not as a use for this, that you could actually,
you could be over.
Through. I can have this or this one, just, buy a good room.
So we're trying to get about 10 people together. I'm not sure we're gonna ask this stuff to get over this.
I know my neighborhood on Friday was.
People coming out like, if you want, please, and I'll do Rob, cause he may have done all great. Time to the new.
And I don't put a ton of smoke tomorrow.
Yeah, and you don't need to.
You can come
Just a little bit of smoke for
Actually, it'll be offered.
Oh, we had to get people to smoke it out of it, so I.
probably.
I could probably do anything other. Federal's very strict, anything. That's to be treasurer of London.
Yeah, the river has.
They want you to.
No, it's just because
Like
they go to anything.
The baby backs might be too.
Right.
Without.
But those work clothes. 69. Or something. Exactly, you read my mind. I've got a brisket in there that's sticking out of the tons of it.
One copy that you doesn't follow.
Are you gonna take some of those to your girls?
He's out on surgery, Jessica won't eat it.
You will.
Why are you trying to give them away all our money?
Yeah.
There's a lot to.
We'll be here all week.
Well, that's so long.
Yeah.
Oh, you
2 or 3 days.
I don't know about that, but by tomorrow, there'll be a little crunch.
That's all right, I'm not picky.
Well, that's true. Thanks to Kelly.
Very quick if you saw me. Never seen anybody in such a.
It doesn't mess around. All right, it is 9:45. This is the time set aside for the Madison County Investment Council meeting. I will turn it over to Madam Treasurer.
Still doing really well. I think total invested between the CDs and everything, we're just over 50 million. Once our second half tax collection is done, I'm going to invest a lot more, but I like to wait until after we do the collections and the settlement. Especially this time with the first collection of the, solar farms. I wanted to make sure everything went smoothly, everything, and it has, so now that we're getting into the second half, I'm gonna, once that is settled, late June, I'm gonna do a significant amount more of investing.
Very good. Thank you.
No problem.
Questions, concerns, comments? Did you?
Did we get that, silly commissioners, prior to this meeting? Yeah, so if we could do that before the next meeting, so they have a time to digest it over the weekend, maybe.
I can do that, for sure. Just send it to you, send it to Amy.
Yeah, that'd be
Okay,
fine.
yeah,
I'll send out with my.
Basically, just,
The Fridays you can send to me.
I can do that.
I don't understand how this works. So you've got an umbrella account and then you've got, are these
So
accounts beneath that or are these CDs or?
yeah, the 1,119,000 is the engineers, investment, that's their money.
Right.
The 24 million is, they used to call it the max account, but now it's just they call it something else. It's ICS now. But I have a problem still calling it the max account because I've done that for the last 20 years. And then all the little ones behind that are multiple CDs.
So the 24 million that's the total, right? So you've got, or is that different from
That the 24 million on this page 119, that's just CDs. And then the 24 million is the max account, and then the 1.1 million is the engineer's account.
There's one line that says 24,259,047.
That's a totally separate, that is not.
That's different from the 24 million even.
Yes,
That's the CDs.
Yes.
These are the CDs. Okay. Okay. And you said of the 24 million in change, that's the amount that you're planning to move more into CDs soon?
well, that plus, once I do my tax collection in June, the county gets a significant portion of that, like within the settlement. And so once all of that is settled, then I will be investing not only that 24, but also the difference that the county can get back that I can settle. Cause I like to leave a running balance of between 4 and 5 million in our daily checking. It's not always needed to have it that high, but on the off chance that something comes up, it's a lot easier to say, yeah, go ahead, do that. Somebody needs money for a project. I used to keep it between 3 and 4 million, but now I noticed with payroll and different things like that, it kind of takes it down. So I try to keep it more closer to 5, between 4 and 5.
Because some of the CDs are actually less than the savings account interest rates. It's something I
Right.
talked to them about.
Yeah.
They should have some CDs that are,
They have some CDs that are out there, they're short term, which I haven't done short term, which is why I'm waiting, and then I'm gonna start investing in the short term versus an extended. The extended is just easier to track and it's easier to keep track of, because if I have a short term coming due in February along with my property taxes, and February and June, it's just very difficult to be worrying about, oh, we have this CD coming due today and this CD coming due today, because I can't reinvest the interest. I can only reinvest. If I started with 2 million and it closes, I have to take the interest out and I can only reinvest that 2 million. So I will eventually be doing short term, I just pushed it off until after June, my collection.
key.
No problem.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Come back in 10 minutes. That would be fine.
Anything related to that, there's some 5 million in the operating the time. That include rainy day fund, and then carry over, that's all in there.
Somehow it should be.
Well, babies, right now,
At least at the high level.
This is our rainy day fund, this is our carry over, this is separate, what's in the max account, I like that all on the truck.
Yeah, I did bring this, they did that.
Like 3 or 4 years ago.
I've seen
Yeah, I get the same.
So they're gonna run into a problem, that's just the market.
Well, if you pay for.
They don't have to do like the schools. Yeah, which is a good problem to have, but. There's, I'm of the opinion that we should be. Spending some of our money on infrastructure project.
Yeah, well, you have $10 million likely for sheriff's building.
Yep.
Anyway. If we get the 5 million from. Federal.
Like the next thing you can. What did you say?
Where's my money? Where's our broker? So,
I said, that's not, money we track for 5.
yeah, that's right. I did ask for 5.
Oh, I guess, I know this record.
So,
What?
The general fund. Well, it's the general bonus fund. What was that? So we obviously. More utensils.
I have to. Like,
Right.
what about?
Sure, that is, yeah.
Yeah, I searched.
Just trying to compare that to what it's right would be.
20,
It was 26, 27 million.
21 years ago.
Yeah,
That's great. I still remember the first smoker I bought, which was the barrel with the offset and.
char grill,
Yeah,
same thing. Yeah, Dave said it, he had it, he was feeding it, he had it.
yeah,
They've been for a long brisket.
yes.
Yeah,
They've come a long way.
I'm down to first row. I would like to.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Just.
We got
Yeah.
Bluetooth with the probes.
Yeah, so much, just on that.
Yeah. Yeah, so mine, 204, even if I got 204, that would be nice. I'll put it at 195, so, yeah, I'll pull them all at the same time. The sheet on this, you know.
was sending that to him.
I remember the first Portland one, I smoked all the
Yeah,
time.
she had my phone.
It was horrible.
So I'll just forward it.
Yeah, absolutely horrible. I got to where I was pretty good with it, though.
Yeah.
But then rusted out.
Well, the wrapping is the key for that. I believe that you should figure out the wrapping times and you,
Yeah.
because it only takes about to like 1:45, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, a buddy who's tried to smoke frog legs. I'm like, there's no.
Good job.
Seems like it's
Oh, Brandon's.
each person. I know, but we'll sit there. I just don't want to be fried.
I was just looking at the barrel, and I got a 3A.
Yeah.
It's just a heavy green ending. That was a little better for, you know.
Yeah.
Myron, aren't you gonna take a donut to go? For the wife or something?
I like that, that's smart.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I would. Like,
If you got cake, what you with?
What's that?
No, you gotta play, well, here's a paper towel too.
Trying to see, what she can probably do the vanilla. When I tried to answer this, it didn't.
they're pretty.
I put. I
Yeah,
answered-
I-
You guys take care.
So.
So I had that for a long time.
I did.
I gotta take it back to them. But now it's, so,
I don't know if I
I
got
had
it.
it for about 5 or 6 years.
I don't think I-
Big bucket, elephant.
Yeah.
Chicken, I think you should.
Bacon on it or anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I never did, so now you bake.
Yeah.
Like cakes.
Yeah, so you must have, you know, you don't get the drag from
It's gonna
it. Which one?
Somebody's gonna make it bacon.
I didn't know if I made this.
A bacon wrapped smoked cabbage. It comes out great. Record the cabbage, then you just make this bacon net.
So even on.
Weave it on it, on that cabbage.
I can email them and say that.
A whole,
Okay, yeah.
My-
whole cabbage.
Yeah.
It comes out pretty good.
I'm working hard on it too.
Bunch salad type serving.
Well, by the time you cut it, it kind of falls apart.
There's no
Kind of
mix it all together.
Is that little vanilla in front of her? Little swirl.
Bacon.
Everything's good with bacon.
Why do our conversations always end up in food?
So I want you guys to try.
Actually, both of you both would talk about it.
So then get things like that.
You both like to cook.
I was gonna do hot dogs.
I do not.
Well, I ended up buying 2 packages. So I said, I go to the shop. So I shaved my hand.
Oh, I've done that before.
Have you? Yeah. That is the weirdest thing
Yeah.
to make up a hamburger hot dog and take a bite of it and you think you're biting into a hot dog that's a hamburger.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Have you ever used peat to smoke?
Mm-mm.
So I was at the Irish Press, it was a long time ago.
That's nasty.
This guy, his name was Sneaky Pete, P-E-A-T, and he was selling bags of peat.
Back of what?
Well, well, in Europe, they use that for fuel, you know, and, so he had a smoker going, he was smoking on the peat, and he had a bottle, a spritzer was full of, either Bushmills or Jameson.
Okay.
And, so he was constantly, spritzing, all kinds of stuff on there, and you came by and got samples, he would, here's your sample, do you want a spritz of, a whiskey in your mouth before you, and that sort of thing.
In the open bay.
Yeah, that's what he did, he's like.
Heard some whiskey about from somebody.
But actually, it was really good. Yeah, it's got a totally different, smell. But
You done?
they kicked him out and he's never been back, because he got super wasted.
You used to go in?
Of course.
But if you get a chance, if you buy some, try it, because
Like fruit.
what's that?
Fruit.
Yeah.
All right, it is now 10 o'clock. This is the time set aside for the bid opening for replacement of the Big Plain Circle Whale Bridge. And turn it over to the engineer's office.
Thank you very much. Although my computer says it's 10 o'clock yet, so it looks like I'm not quite allowed to
open those bids just yet, so I will keep trying to keep it refreshing. This project is a rebid of the, Big Plains-Circleville Road Bridge over Possum Run out by the county line. We had originally estimated just under $400,000 for that project, and it came in at 6.5 the first go round. We provided some additional detail. We did a preliminary plan in-house, provided some soil borings that we had hired someone to do, which should, and extended the schedule some. So all those things should combine to get us better bids this time around.
So one over Deer Creek is funded, isn't it?
What's that?
The one on Deer Creek is,
Yes, we had the or really kickoff meeting, since that's a design build project, on Monday for that, and we expect that to continue to move along and be finished before the end of the year. It's not showing me what I expected to show. Okay, we have two bids for the project. The first is from Buds Inc. And that bid nine,
BUDS.
BUDS in all caps. The second bid is from RV Jurgens Contractors, who got the 305 bridge, the other bridge. Buds Inc., their bid total is $574,445.00. 574,445.07.
what was the engineer's, estimate?
479, I think.
Or the-
The 20% max award is 575,000. So they have taken a look at that. And see what, waiting on the RV Jurgens bid now. We have a meeting tomorrow afternoon with Corpo, that's who funded this project originally. They had, I think the number from Corpo was in the $280,000 range. They were going to request additional funding to try to offset the difference. It's still a saving. There, RV Jurgens came in at $613,000, 136, I'm sorry, 613, 136 and 22 cents, 613, 136.22. So we'll do some research, consider the funding and see if we're able to try to move forward with awarding to Buds. They're the only bidder right now, though, that is under the 20% limitation. So we'll do some research and be back in touch.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Just like everybody.
Yeah,
That's great. And they won't.
What's that?
The window like that. We were showing, stay was still talking.
It's supposed to be a pretty heavy base.
Yeah, keep your. Bar, I got it. Should put it, that's not fun.
yeah,
Fun.
that was pretty nice.
Big room stuff like that.
Well, it's
Yeah.
put it to the pergola, to the bar. I'm just looking to get the. Pergola, I'd say it's off the house school.
Yeah.
That's in the. So going out.
Shattered.
Yeah, we gotta put the pretty similar ones on them back.
You can, while we have a minute, you might be able to answer a question. If not, that's fine. The service road that ODOT required Chiefs to put in, that's to be transferred over to the township? And is that in the process?
I don't know. I can follow up on that though.
That would be. I talked to Brian about it and he explained to me, but I'm not sure I grasped exactly what he was trying to say. And then the, one with the power washer, the old, I think it's a 142 with the power washer company on it. I think that was supposed to be transferred to the township as well. I think we went through the process, but it was just never finalized from what Brian was saying. If I understood correctly.
Sheets, I think it had not been, it had been accepted and it is labeled as access road. So it officially needs to be renamed somehow, I don't know the process.
Gotcha.
This came up at the regional planning meeting and they had Jefferson, because I think it's part Jefferson, part Deer Creek. Said that, they had been maintaining it. I think Jefferson had been plowing it this winter, so they just were looking for getting it into their designation, I guess.
Little construction update, Seltzer removing the bridge construction there's the box of the culvert pipes, they're actually, it's not really a pipe, it's a box really, but it's showing up today. They're getting those pieces set in place, so it should be on schedule to open that back up toward the end of next week, which was as originally scheduled. So it's also weather cooperates with doing it.
It's one of the lesser traveled roads in the county.
We're still already starting the cooking. That's always very. Is it? Yes, but then all the prep's done. She started, I was looking.
I'm gonna have to go on business.
They were on Sunday. Yes, turn out her night, she did, she was great.
Have you ever tried,
Madison, I told her don't cut this down.
I'm not,
It's not big, most of the.
game person, yeah.
yeah, so,
I'm just backing up to your front house.
yeah, I did hindquarters, plug it with, garlic and onion. And, it comes out pretty good. I did it, for a Daytona 500 party and people were tearing it up and they didn't even know what it was. Yeah. Even kids.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It's a very cheap one.
It just looks cool.
What's it called?
You know, I'm a smoker.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I didn't bone it out or anything, it was the whole, his leg on it.
Yeah, why would you?
Yeah.
There's two different things.
That goes to
I
your
don't
duty.
really see them all.
What's that?
That goes to your duty, quite so that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your taste, yeah.
It's hard to get. This one, go over.
Well, I took the rest of the day off today, so I have a feeling the smoker's gonna get fired up.
There you go.
Why not?
Building progress. All right, good old law.
I'm still planning for that. That's 275 gallon drums.
Yeah, I thought it looked pretty good.
That's why I made this top shelves removable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I do for it is for supplemental heat, I lay a pyramid of charcoal briquettes and like one end, and then slowly breaks slowly.
Yeah.
And I have to keep the blaze and hot fire in it. And I just get it for the smoke effect, you know?
Yeah.
I'll take it right there.
I think so.
You have to get a Brook Fest contest.
You know, I would like to do that, but
It's a lot of work.
yeah, like I say, when I do those smoke outs for my work, you know, I'm till 11 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
prepping and rubbing food. And then you gotta be there 3 o'clock in the morning to get the fire going,
Yeah.
and to have people eat by 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Then you still got to clean up, that is a long 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for, you know, 150 people, you know what I mean, quite a few people want to do that. And I just order size in, I just say, what, give you green beans,
Yeah.
macaroni cheese, stuff like that,
I had about that much left on Saturday. So I was like, man, I hit it just right. I did 2 games too. So,
You did 3 pork shoulders
4
and it's gone.
and 2 hams and it was all gone.
You got a party.
Yeah. Plus I always get nervous that it's gonna turn out great. Like I can't stand it when stuff dries out.
Oh,
So, you know, I smoked it on Friday and then Saturday I had to reheat everything. So I was worried, especially the pork shoulder was gonna dry out.
what'd you do to prevent that?
So I put it in, I wrapped them, I rewrapped them and, put them in a roaster. And, just poured a little hole up in top and poured some, chicken broth inside so it would steam a little bit.
Yep.
Put them in there for probably an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Try to heat them up as best I could whole.
Yep.
And then let them rest then a little bit and then shredded it.
Yep.
With a little bit of, chicken broth, like, yeah, no problems. Tender and juicy.
Well, I mean, you go to, I know your smoke places and stuff, they're always taking their meat first before they're sandwich.
Yeah.
That's it, you know, once we get.
Got a turkey in the freezer. I need to do it. Sometimes I spatchcock turkeys or chickens, but I also have a turkey cannon. And
Yeah, like, yeah.
that works pretty good.
I like the pork.
Everybody says, well, you can get a Costco and get a chicken for $5 or a chicken. Like, it's not the other days.
Not saying. It's not the same.
All right, it is 10:15. This is the time set aside for open session, public comment. Is there any comments, questions, concerns?
I wanted to go back on, bring it for my wife. I wanted to go back on the data centers and understand. I was kind of aware of the London one, but it sounds like there's one in West Jeff too. Is that what you're saying?
The same one I was looking around and they were looking around, no contracts or anything were signed in London, they're looking around in London. Deals fell through, so yeah, so then they focused on West Jeff, so it's the same group.
Okay, and is that existing buildings that they're taking?
Gonna be new.
Gonna be doing where, I'm sorry, was that?
South of 40, outside of town. It's owned by the larger, the family, the three sisters own about 1,000 acres out there. The one sister owns about this 80 acres or so on the south side of 40.
It's right next to Glade Run. So it bumps up to 40 and Glade Run.
Yeah.
And data centers in central Ohio are just hot. Electric, I think is, only thing really holding things back, that and water.
So, yeah, so right now, it's kind of like, it's still first come, first served, and there are companies doing land grabs at this point for future data center operations. And this group that is moving forward in West Jeff, looks like they're first in the queue when it comes to when electricity becomes available for their project in large amounts, they'll get first stab at it, basically. So, then that's what I mentioned, if you read this journal article, it talks about doing this over a 15-year period, and that's what these groups are looking at, whether it's a, Microsoft's put out recently, but whether it's a group like this, or if it's a Facebook or AWS or whatever, they're looking at more of a long-term play rather than anything immediate.
The electric generation was for them a concern.
Yeah.
There's just not enough. It's,
The good thing is they're talking about when it comes to water and sewer, recycling, gray water.
that fluent coming out of the sanitary sewer plant being used as a coolant.
Yeah. So that would help. With some communities and their water usage and sewer. Yeah, so. Yeah.
Any other questions, comments, concerns, anybody? Going once, going twice?
Too late. Thank you very much. Let's make them again.
My pleasure.
Thank you for, yeah, no problem. Thank